Just because sometimes people might want to hear my yammering at the beginning and they often miss that part. But I've not done slides today. I just want to talk again a little bit more candidly on sacrifice because I feel like, let me see if I can change my screen without it jumping to Vicky. I feel like Vicky's always on first. No, we've got Heidi today. Oh, fuck, I've pressed buttons. Hang on. Ah, what am I doing? Here we go. Back to this one. What's dynamic gallery? Can't see you all that way. Immersive? Oh no, we don't want that button, do we? Crikey. Speaker. When it like can no, I can't do it that way. It's definitely just going to record Heidi. Gallery it is. Sorry, guys. No matter how often I try and do that, I just don't understand it. So okay, and I did look at what's the thing? Teams. I have started to look into it. It's just so low down the priority list, but it one day we'll get there and everyone will go, "Oh my God, we're on Teams." And I'll be like, "Okay," but we're not there yet. Right, so before we start, we've got some shout outs. So, Erin, congratulations, One Stone Club, which is amazing and done in a really nice time frame as well. And also, I just want to say, this is a woman who's been made redundant. This is a woman whose life is a little bit up in the air at the moment, and she had a choice: lean in or lean the fuck out. And she's chosen to lean in and use this as an anchor to make sure that she doesn't spiral in all of the other areas of her life, which is incredible to still say that she's carried on and she's still dropping the body fat and doing it absolutely sensationally. So well done to Erin because that's Erin, by the way. We have Ellen and Erin, and sometimes I'm like, make sure I pronounce the right one correctly. I also want to shout out Vicky as well. Not this Vicky. There's loads of Vicky D, so I'm not even going to say that, but a different Vicky. She actually, she was having a bit of a tough week last week, and quite personal things. I'm not going to go into detail about her scenario, but what she did really well was reach out, and she said, "This week's not going to look great. This week is just not going to be the best week that I can have." And we did go through her scenario and and I made it clear I'm not a counselor, but I was like, in this position, this is what I would do. And they were able to kind of work through what was going on behind closed doors. But this is the point, reaching out to your coaches. And quite a few of you actually did that really well. I know HRT did it as well, feeling a certain way and going, this has happened. And I can see it all going on. And again, this is the point. Communicate with us. The more you do that, the more we can actively help through any of these challenges. Now, that might have been binge eating. It might have been like, again, something completely personal. Whatever that situation is, the more you communicate with us, the better. Also, Victoria had a great little win. And it's like I say, a little win. It was a big win, but it's one of those small things where you kind of go, huh. So what she did, she went to a barbecue and took her own non-secco. And she made the conscious decision. I don't think I'm going to drink. It wasn't like a hard decision. It was like, I think I could if I choose to. But right now, I really want to get to the reverse diet more than I want this bit of alcohol. And kind of explained this to people at the barbecue. And they were actually really receiving of that information. And she was like a little bit surprised, but that's great. Again, kind of demonstrates. But then we've got another scenario, which I do want to kind of mention. I'm 99% sure that it was with Claire, and she actually almost did exactly what I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, where she was going to a barbecue. She took her own food and actually got a lot of judgment for taking her own food. So she took like skinny sausages, skinny burgers. Obviously, her primary goal is fat loss. So she was taking things that would allow her to control the controllables. And a lot of people in that situation were very much like, oh, you're taking this too far. That's too extreme. This, that, and the other. Now, my view on that, and this goes for anything in life, you never ever take advice from anybody who is not where you want to be. So if you're looking around that barbecue and you are seeing situations or thinking, and let's be honest, like it sounds really bad, and not all the time, but a lot of the time you can see where somebody's not quite got it right with their health and fitness. You can see what overweight looks like. You can see what obesity looks like. You can see, obviously, you can't see things like high blood pressure or things like that. And you get skinny people that are mega fucking unhealthy as well. I'm not suggesting, but generally speaking, you will know, are these people the kind of people I want to take that advice from? It's like getting parenting advice from someone that's never been a parent. Like, you kind of go, no, I would never. Or getting marital advice from somebody that's been divorced 4 times. Again, you probably wouldn't do that, would you? So it's these kind of situations where you go, okay, how do I feel in this moment? Am I okay with the decisions that I have made? Am I impacting anybody negatively by doing this? No, I'm not. It's my life, it's my choice, my decision. And you can just thank people for their opinions and just leave it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even get angry about it. I'd just be like, thank you, I appreciate you sharing that. It's really hard if you don't bite, it's really hard for people to be like, "Ugh," and they really want to have their 2 pence, and that's okay. But yeah, they are. Everyone's got a walking pad in Strong Her, Heidi. So not everyone, it's not a requirement, but it's a difficult life being a corporate woman sat on your backside every single day. So when we are like have an opportunity to go, right, I can stand and listen and walk, great investment. About 100 quid, maybe slightly more on Amazon, different times a year. But yeah, if you're nowhere near your 10,000 steps a day, fully advocate for that. And a bit like Pippa, she's out. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be on a walking pad. You could be like, do you know what I mean? You can do it out and about. But yeah, so sacrifices. We need to make some. That is the long and short of it. If you come into this process expecting to do exactly as you were doing before you stepped into Strong Her, and you're not prepared to change things, the reality is, like, that's just the definition of insanity, isn't it? To do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's not likely to happen. And what I'm talking about is so many of you guys are absolutely incredible at kind of crushing it Monday through Friday. Then Friday night can start to roll in, or it's like, oh, and obviously we've added this additional question into the check-ins. What do you have coming up in the next week that we need to know about? Which is great, but there is a lot, a lot of things and stuff. Now, sometimes that's just a season of life that we're in. Sometimes it may be that every man and its dog in your family has a birthday in June, as an example. It's kind of one of those things where it's just a bit like, oh, that is what it is. But other times we can see you guys making decisions where you go, I might have dealt with that differently. And again, just to be clear, we are never going to be a dictatorship. We're going to coach you and we're going to say, have you considered this? Or if I were in your position, I would look at this, but we can't do it for you. We're not actively going to say, don't do this or stop doing that, even though it might be what we want to scream. Because you're going, I'm so frustrated at the weighing scales. And I'm like, this is why. But we just want you to be empowered to have the knowledge and the information. But for me, it's things like if you're going for a dinner and it's not a special occasion, it's not something that you need to be doing, but I don't know, you're meeting up with someone that is a part of your life or whatever, could you do something that maybe doesn't revolve around food? Could you do something that doesn't revolve around alcohol, where you kind of go, right, you know what? Like, why don't we go on a walk? Why don't we go to whatever nature reserve and do a 5K and we'll actually just walk? Or we might go for a coffee, but I'm not going to go for a coffee and then get a massive slab of cake. We're just going to walk with a coffee. Do you know what I mean? And we'll take that round with us. Or like if you've got dogs or different things like that. Do you know what I mean? Just thinking, can I do this differently? Yes, I always go for dinner with Jenny. She's like my dinner pal. And you may still want to go for dinner. You may want to do that. But this is the consideration going, maybe I could do something differently. And then also the options that you do choose, like a lot of the time, you guys are incredible at asking us, what would you choose in this situation? What off this menu, which again is great, what would you select? Now, again, I'm going to probably say 9 times out of 10, there will be sea bass on a menu. It is going to be the best macros friendly option on pretty much any menu that has a wider variety of foods on there. That's always likely to be the one. And then sometimes you guys go, no, I fucked it. I had 5 pints and a pizza and I did this, 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 and this. And you kind of go, Right, okay. Do you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing again by going, I'm out for lots of things, or there's loads of events coming up, or this, that, and the other. Summer holidays are going to be here. Do you know what I mean? Things shift. But like last week, half term, there may have been seaside things, fish and chips, all of these things. It's about kind of going, right, when am I choosing my moments? What am I choosing? Do I need to have everything all of the time? Or can I take a step back and actually make a few sacrifices in order to strive towards going, you know what? And it's so fucking hard. It's so fucking hard. Like I said, when we're talking about fat loss, we're talking 3,500 calories equal to 1 pound of fat. Okay, so if we want to drop a pound of fat, and that is below maintenance. So we've got to drop, like your maintenance calories are here. We've got to drop that 3,500 calories across the week. Now we can balance that as we need to, but let's call it 500 calories a day for the sake of argument. It's really easy to eat that 500 calories, right? It's really easy to just eat it, and it's really hard not to. And like if we take the Miller and Carter example, it's so easy to smash a 5,000 calorie three-course dinner without even touching the side. You don't even feel like you've had that much food. And I look and I think, where were the 5,000 calories? I missed that memo. Apart from the pudding, where you kind of go, yeah, that does feel a bit tasty. That's clearly very high. But the rest of it, I think, God, where is it? That's how easy it is to undo it. One dinner. You can undo your entire calorie deficit, but not just undo it, you can push yourself into a caloric surplus. And then you look at the weighing scales and you go, fuck my life, that's happened again. This is where we have to be able to make conscious decisions to say, right, I can't do everything, or I can, but I need to make smarter choices while I'm at that restaurant or while I'm doing the thing that I'm doing. Do I need a large fish chips and mushy peas or whatever? No, I probably don't. I could share. Or I could just have a smaller portion. Do I need the donuts then at the seaside? No, you know what? I probably don't. I can live without that this one time. I'm eating for eating's sake when actually I could make that sacrifice. So I really want that to be kind of coming up top of mind. I feel like, but for me, just I do want to make it clear. Last week was for me one of the very few times that we will ever see in the UK that the weather and half term and bank holiday all lined up beautifully the way that they did. And I do think there are moments where we have to say, you know what? No, I want to be present. I don't want to be doing like counting macros and looking at this, that, and the other this week. I just want to be really present because this never happens. We don't ever get blessed in that timing for everything to kind of come together like that. So I do feel like the results were better than I thought they were going to be on Friday. I'll be honest. I was expecting going, oh God, how's this going to be? They were a lot better than I was anticipating. And again, there are still the needle moving activities. Now, again, my view on this is you can come into Strong Her, pay absolutely very little attention to the nutrition piece. And if you start lifting weights, you will see body recomposition. If you're genuinely building muscle, you will see a huge difference to your physique. Can it be way better by concentrating on nutrition too? Absolutely. Hands down, that is why we coach across the whole spectrum and not just in one element. But if you really feel like this part is doing your head in, you can just go, right, you know what, I want to take a little bit of a gap here and communicate this with us, and we'll see if we can simplify or change how we do things because we do have different methods of doing different things. Thomas is going to eat his dinner in the background, by the way. Ignore that. He's starving. He's been working all afternoon. So some tips on the sacrifices. Now, for me, if you know your life is chaotic, it's very busy, you're in a season of life where it's going to be more challenging, you have to fucking meal prep. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, like I said, I think last week or the week before, you get your glorious, beautiful Tupperware boxes and you organize and you plan and you do it, excuse me, as efficiently as you possibly can do, because that is going to serve you when everything else is chaos and up in the air and you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't control this. It's so chaotic. Organize yourself, plan, Get it laid out for the week. You are doing one less job then. If you just batch everything, batch cook it. But also, I think there's always this thing of everyone thinking they need to overcomplicate. No, I need to eat differently every single day, every single week. I need to eat differently. Why would you create yourself more chaos than you actually need to? Yes, there are going to be times where you think, oh, I really want to try a new recipe. And there's loads, obviously, within the content library, like hundreds and available in the bloody ether. Do you know what I mean? But for me, like when I was doing that photo shoot, when I got like super, super lean and shredded, I was eating the same thing every single day. The same thing for that week because my weight was dropping beautifully for that photo shoot. And I thought, I've got a goal to hit. Am I prepared to make some sacrifices on having all of this variety, or am I happy to just eat chicken fajita wraps every damn day? I was like, yep, I'm eating chicken fajita wraps all of the time because it was moving in the right direction. And I thought, you know what? I just want an easy life right now. And I've got this goal, and that's what I want to achieve. And it was like, boom, that's going to make my life really, really easy. Like tonight, we've had chili con carne. You all know how much vegetable. Anyone that came to the Strong Her Summit, you know how many vegetables I put inside of that dish. That's one other thing. Your guys' fiber. We're going to be doing a lot of work on this because it's way too low across the board. Like, we've got to be pooping, guys. We've got to be pooping. But that's a different thing. We did do that recently, but I do want to see it coming up. So I want you to think of sacrifices in the same way, because the challenge is in today's world, we live in a hugely immediate gratification world, right? And what I mean by this is you can turn on Netflix and you can have access to hundreds, thousands, millions of things to watch at your fingertips. You can have like Prime, you can have Disney Plus, you can literally have anything that you want at your fingertips. Something comes out in the cinema now, it'll be available on Amazon Prime to buy in 2 weeks later. That is literally, whereas in my day, we had a TV guide. TV guide. Is anyone else here old enough to remember the damn TV guide? Yeah. Where you literally, like it was like Christmas movies, and you would circle the ones that you wanted to watch in the TV guide. And that felt like, oh my God, like this is exciting. Now, no, you'd find it. You'd find anything that you want to watch at the click of a button, and it is immediately there for you. Phones, like literally, if you want to buy anything at all, you can literally get it on Amazon and pretty much have same day, next day delivery. It is crazy how fast our brains are now wired to be able to go fast, fast, fast. And this is one of the reasons why the high streets are dying and why small businesses are just not being supported in the same way. And we have to actively make sure we are putting in the effort to actually go and buy from them because it's just not happening anymore. Everybody is addicted to online screen time, immediate gratification, but that doesn't happen in health and fitness. You want to build muscle, yeah, like this is the reason we asked for the photos. It's going to be a while before you start to look at those photos and go, oh, I can really start to see it now. I can see the difference in my physique. But we are talking delayed gratification on steroids because building muscle is damn hard to do. Dropping body fat, that's actually the easier part in theory. But obviously, it's still really fucking hard to do as well. So, all of these things require you to wire your brain differently to how the current world actually operates around you. But I want you to think of a time where you have successfully like completed delayed gratification now, and I'm talking like way even beyond this. So, like saving for something is a great example. Have you at some point in life put X amount of money aside every single month to go, I don't know, to go and buy a car or a house? Like a house deposit for those of you that own houses takes fucking years to save. And again, you can decide some weekends to go, you know what, I'm going to dip into this pot. You know what? I really actively, we want this holiday or we want this thing. We are going to dip into that pot. So we're going to lose that savings for maybe a couple of months or whatever. And I'm okay with that. But it's a long play strategy, isn't it? But if you do that every damn month and you keep going, I'm dipping in, I'm dipping in, I'm dipping in, you're either going to shrink like the actual achievement that you're trying to get, you might diminish it altogether. If you get to the end of every single month and there is no money left in your bank account, you are literally at your means. And again, this is where we've got to start to shift and go, right, okay, actually, is that where I want to be, or do I want a bit more delayed gratification where I can build up to this bigger goal, this bigger picture? And like we're in a great scenario of that at the moment. Like I'm a business owner, maternity leave, not a thing, right? So I've had to go, right, okay, I am going to squirrel this money away deliberately. And also, we fell pregnant really quickly, obviously, a blessing. But financially, I was a bit like, oh, fuck, right, okay, everyone needs to get paid. Do you know what I mean? The business still has to run, everything still has to operate even though this window is going to be there where I won't be bringing in clients, there will be a point where I say the doors are shut and the only priority is working with the women that we've got. So we're not going to bring in new business. Women will still probably leave in that gap and we won't be bringing anyone in. So I've had to do delayed gratification. I've had to say, no, we're not going on holiday. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing all of these things. Our baby moon is going to be in a little thing in the middle of a field and it costs like 300 quid. That's the baby moon. And again, it was amazing. We absolutely love that baby moon. It's very much us. But we do also love the Dubai holidays. We love the Abu Dhabi. We love all of these things. So it's thinking, right, what is, and obviously the goal is for us to have a beautiful baby. I mean, beautiful. Sometimes I think they look like feet, but apparently you like your own. But I look at them and think, oh, you're a funky looking dude. But this is it. That is our goal for this year. So other things have to get put to the side. It's no different. If your goal is to build muscle and you're constantly saying, well, I'm not going to do a training session, or I'm tired, or I'm not going to do it, or I'm not going to fit it in, that's not going to happen this week. Or I'm going out for dinner like 3 times every single week for the next month, and you're not at all willing to make any sacrifices towards your future and delay that gratification, we're very unlikely to get the results that you want, and you are going to start getting frustrated, or you're not going to be finding things happen at the pace that you really want them to happen at. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with this tonight. So I think that was pretty much. I feel like I spoke really quickly then. But I want to raise that point just to remind you that, do you know what I mean? We've got to pull and push. We can't just, and there are, like I say, there are going to be weeks where we say, right, I've got to pull back. I'm not going to achieve everything that I want to this week, but we can't be doing that every week. There's got to be moments where we accept and acknowledge we've got to make some sacrifices along the way. So Pippa said it's frustrating that people are judgmental of choices, but if you had an allergy, that was actually my backup thing. I thought that earlier. I forgot to say that. If you really feel uncomfortable about having those conversations, or you feel like you're getting a lot of pushback, or do you know what I mean? If you're, this is the scenario of taking your own food to an event or something like that, just say it's allergies. Genuinely, if you just think I want an easy life, I can't be bothered, I need to eat this food because I will have an allergic reaction otherwise, and that's it. No one will say a word. Literally. So you could literally say, oh, they're vegetarian or vegan or whatever, but people can still complain about that. But that's what I would do. Exactly that. It's just, if you want an easy life, and it's nobody else's damn business what you choose to do. And like I've seen this a lot again on like, God, like women are so judgmental. Like they can be so judgmental. And you see it a lot in parenthood. Like I watched a woman share a reel. She had a bigger baby, so like nearly 10-pound baby, and she just said, I did the whole thing unmedicated. I can't believe I did that. That was literally all she put. And then she shared a photo, like a video of her and a baby. The first comment was from another woman saying, well, that doesn't give you a medal. Like, what's your, like, do you know what I mean? Just if another woman has like whatever medication, it doesn't give you the right to. And I was a bit like, whoa, what is going on? Like, why are, and it usually is women at these events as well. Like, I don't think you're likely to hear men. If you take your own food to a barbecue, I might be wrong, but I don't think you would hear men say, oh, you're taking this too far, or what are you doing bringing your own food? I don't think they would give a shit. It's always going to be the women. So you have to watch out for that because, again, we do live in a society where unfortunately women are pitted against one another all of the time. And it's so like intrinsically indoctrinated within our society that it's really hard to move away from. But we have to catch ourselves if we do it. Do you know what I mean? You have to watch if you are one of those people accidentally just falling into that trap of pulling another woman down. We don't want to be in that space. We want to be able to say, you do you, hon. Do you know what I mean? It's your life. It's your barbecue food. I'm not eating it. Or it's your baby, or it's your whatever scenario. If it's not impacting you at all, let it go. Do you know what I mean? It's got, and again, the same if it's not impacting someone else, that's fine. Do what you want to do. It's your life, your choice at the end of the day. Right, has anyone got hay fever, by the way? I feel like I am, yeah, it's like, it's caught me. I'm like sniffy all the time at the minute. Has anyone got anything they want to ask about anything that we've talked about tonight at all whatsoever? Because, like I said, or anything that you want to share or add that you are welcome to. Okay, anyone? Any questions at all? This again is your opportunity. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Any form checks, anything about nutrition, anyone struggling with protein, literally, this can be anything that you wish for it to be. And we will sit here as long as we need to. Struggling with lay down shoulder press. Are you, you're a gymmer, aren't you? Oh, wait, I don't, I'm looking for you going, nope, you're off the thing. Yes, you are. Have you got a seated version in your gym? Because basically they're saying normally you might have a plate loaded one where you just load the plates at the side and it's going to be like a seated version, but it's a machine. So it's just going to take the load differently. Now, the challenge with the machines is you might end up with like a little 2.5 or 1.25 on each side and you think this is fucking pathetic. But it happens to the best of us. But in terms of, I guess my bigger question then is, in what way would you say you're struggling? Like it's hurting or causing pain or tension, or is it more the angle of it? Or do you know what I mean? Like in what way? I feel like I can't rotate my shoulders enough. I mean, you could do an anterior. So you could bring your arms in if this helps, and you could literally imagine I'm laid down, so shoulder press, like you're coming like, but you can just go like this. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna bias more at the front, so the anterior bit here, the little triangle, sexiest muscle on a woman that you'll ever find, by the way. I genuinely think when a woman's got great anterior delts, I'm like, she's strong, she lifts, she's sexy. So you can do that, but it will slightly shift the muscle in terms of then it won't be bringing in quite as much of the side. Um, but if you find that, the other thing I would do is probably do some like warm up openers. So you can get like, if your gym has bands where you attach them around any kind of squat rack and you kind of almost want to be pulling it here. So you want to get the band like taut against something in front of you and then just be pulling it and really try and get that kind of like, and you could do it the same downwards, but you really want to open up those shoulder joints. And you can actually get some tension with the band. So you might want to just go, right, I'm not actually going to do the weightlifting side of it for the time being. I'm just going to be doing it with the band. And I just want to kind of pull and get my shoulders really, really open. I don't like being depleted on sets. I mean, if it's more of a like I say, you might just be do the opener and then you might think that's it, that's nailed it, I'm good, and then you can do your sets. Do you know what I mean? It might just be that you're not warming them up quite enough to get them going. Another exercise I haven't done it in ages, to be fair, but one that I used to do is literally this, where you rotate down and then you come back up again. That is massively going to be opening up all, and you'll feel it if you all do that like right now, you can literally feel the shoulder muscles completely opening. So that's another little, so they're just warm-up movements, and then you might find that they're more open to be able to activate. um any alternatives to a dumbbell lying curl? Felt really uncomfortable doing this in the small hotel gym with guests there. Dumbbell lying curl. What's it? Oh, I know, lying leg curl. Sorry, I know what you mean. Yeah, sorry, I've got that. I was thinking, what do we mean by lying curl? Only if so this one comes up all the time and everybody hates it. And I get it, and I used to do it, and it is a niggly one. The only thing you could do is if there is a leg curl machine That is it. Some gyms have them, some gyms don't. If you train from home, there isn't really any alternative. I've literally spent ages and ages seeing if I can even work out a different alternative, and I can't figure one out unless you buy a very, very specific kind of attachment to attach a dumbbell to your foot and then you can do them standing. There is no other way around it. So, but if you do have a leg curl machine, some of them are lying leg curls, which are literally you are basically mimicking the action, but with the weight, like it's a pin loaded machine. Or some of them might be seated leg curls. Again, if you've got a gym membership, like and I know Vicky you do, you will be familiar with the machines, but that's the only thing. Otherwise, unfortunately, not really. You are going to be working hamstrings though in other exercises like an RDL. You can't not work the hamstrings in an RDL. So if you're doing RDLs, you can kind of go, right, I'll just part that one for the time being while I don't have access to everything or I feel a bit conscious in doing that in front of everyone. Um, but it is an exercise for home programmers where you will likely have it because we can't, there is literally no other alternative, just other things that might, and again, yeah, this is it. Your RDLs, your it depends if it's dumbbell only or not. Your what's the word? Good mornings, anything that's kind of where you're really stretching out that back. Even a hip extension to some capacity. If you try and do it a bit more stiff leg, you're going to be working the hamstrings as well. But again, not everywhere has all of that equipment. So an RDL is going to be your best bet to try and make sure that you are biasing both at the same time. Right. Any other questions, queries, form checks, anything that you guys want from me at all? Because if not, I'm going for a shower. No, perfect. And also don't forget if you can't ever make these, you can message anytime, either underneath where I put the Zoom details or the video every Monday morning. Just message any questions there, or obviously message me direct and I can raise them as I'm here, and then you guys can watch the playback, even if you can't make it. But it was lovely to see you all. We will, like I say, we'll obviously be in touch throughout the week. If you need us, you know where to find us. If anything is like happening in your life that we need to know about, please do tell us. And yeah, have a fabulous week. The weather is a lot cooler. We shouldn't see as much water retention. Kids are back in school. Bank holidays are over. We want a good fucking push now. I want everyone to absolutely crush June across the board. So let's fucking go, legends. Mwah. Bye.